Good afternoon to you all. This time I am going to explain sociology syllabus for the UPSC examinations. So, as a part of the UPSC, sociology is playing very important roles, and it is very scoring subject. And myself teaching sociology for the last 20 years for the UPSC aspirants. So, this time I am going to explain the topics of paper first, chapter first, and topics number first. So this is our topics here. Modernity and social change in Europe and emergence of sociology as a discipline. This type of questions has been frequently asked in the UPSC mains examination. So how to just develop the framework of this type of questions answer. So here, this point we will discuss and share with you. While writing the topics on modernity and social change in Europe and emergence of sociology. So, these points are very important as a part of your strategy of the framework of your answers. So, under it, the father of Auguste Comte here, father of sociology is Auguste Comte. He elaborated sociology in different ways. He just elaborated positivism or like that. So he founded firstly social physics and later on he renamed sociology. Okay. So how did sociology established as a discipline, as a subject, academic subject? So firstly we will discuss earlier all the subject, humanities subject were the part of the philosophy. But it was Auguste Comte who in 1837-38 onwards established the discipline and named it sociology. So, age of enlightenment. Firstly, under it we will discuss the socio-economic and political change in the society. So, firstly we discuss the age of enlightenment. Age of enlightenment refers to intellectual revolution, enlightenment thinkers in humanities, science, philosophy, natural sciences. So, it has three subparts. Scientific revolution. In the 16th-17th century, in physical sciences, natural sciences, so many scientific discovery and invention emerged. So many intellectuals emerged who propounded like Newton's, Boyle's, Charles, Archimedes. So a large number of the physical and natural scientists gave so many scientific discovery and invention. Development of the human science like the history, economy, geography, philosophy. So a large number of the intellectual propounded different, logical, systematic studies of the scientific studies of the societies. Social, economic and political dimension here, that socio-economic and political change were elaborated. So all the enlightenment thinkers, that is the intellectual revolution, firstly we will discuss this point. After that, commercial revolution. Commercial revolution, that trade and commerce, international market developed, transportation and communication system developed. So definitely it has a sweeping change. It introduced sweeping change in the socio-economic and political infrastructure of the societies as a whole. So commercial revolution played significant roles. Voyage and discoveries. Discoveries of different countries, voyage through the sea routes like Vasco da Gama, and later on different society and different countries were explored. Economic changes refers to economic changes in the modernization in the 18th and 19th century. So many economic change occurs in our society. Like here, in this, we will discuss about the growth of banking system developed, modern banking system, monetary systems developed in our society, enlargement of the company. Manually it was here, the large mass level production system developed, and ascendance of the new classes, that the new noble classes, new capitalist classes emerged in our societies. So all these things were introduced in the traditional structure and function of the societies. Next, we will see point 4, the Europeanizations of the world. That British made colonies more than 70 to 80 countries. So it is the European countries that wanted, especially Britain, wanted to shape the entire world according to their values, according to their religion, according to their systems. So Europeanization, entire European impact, British impact especially on the global world, USA, India, Southeast Asian countries, or like that. Scientific revolution under it, Copernicus, Kepler, Galileo, Roberts, Boyle, Newton's, Darwin in the 15th and 16th century introduced so many changes. That science is boon or bane. Whatever the scientific discovery, so it played very, very crucial role in shaping the social values, religious values, family structure, society infrastructure, everything. So it is also important factors of the modernization and social change. French Revolution, very well-known French Revolution of 1789. French Revolution, it is not only a political revolution, rather it is a socio-economic revolution also. French Revolution, by French Revolution here, three in French society, first estate were clergy, second estate nobility, and third is the peasantry. These two are called capitalist noble classes. The entire power, structure, money, resources owned by clergy and nobility. And rest of the people were terribly exploited, peasantry. They are in majority, 80% people were in the peasantry classes. So ultimately, French Revolution discussed about equality. It demanded, fraternity, justice. Okay. So French Revolution, it is a social revolution in fact. It is a political revolution as well as economic revolution, you can say. So impact of the French Revolution were globally realized in our Indian constitution, Indian society also. In Indian, milieu, the people started talking about equality, justice, fraternity. So in India also, with the impact of French Revolution, so many socio-religious reform movement as well as caste movement started for equality and justice. Then intellectual revolution, there are so many types you can see. Intellectual emerged here. These are intellectual persons. They just started logical way of Montesquieu, a spirit of law, new ideas, new things about the law. Law, individual rights, it focused. Voltaire, freedom of speech. Rousseau, social contract. So here, two type of tradition developed. One is the radical tradition. That is, they wanted to change in the traditional system of the societies, and conservative tradition in sociology, they wanted to restore the traditional order. So major conflict and contradiction between the two theories. They are the modern thinkers advocated change in the traditional social order, economic order, as well as political order. And conservative tradition, they people wanted to restore the traditional in favor of the traditional values and traditional system. Then this is here 8 point you can see. This talks about the industrial revolution. Industrial revolution 1760 to 1860 onward. Industrial revolution, sweeping change in the society it was. So mass level production, large scale industrial production, labor union developed, urbanization started, and ultimately the structural base of the society started moving towards the modern societies. It impacts the family system. Delcott Parsons talk about isolated nuclear family in the industrial society. So family change, religion change, value started changing. Labor condition, just it was further exploitation or labor class and capitalist class inequality developed. Transformation of the properties, that capital now land in place of land, capital become the major things. Money based economy, capital based economy developed. Urbanization, definitely industrialization always paved the way for urbanization in every society. So rapid urbanization developed around the world. And technology and factory system of production, this point that in place of the manual, here production, distribution and everywhere, we people, society started using technology. In this here, now after elaborating all these points, these are the points that introduce so many socio-economic change in the society. This is the first part of your question's answer. While writing any question on modernity and social change in Europe and emergence of sociology as a discipline, you have to elaborate these points and show that how the manners in which society was changing. Socio-economic and political change in the society. Now, the second part, that all these change, keeping all of these change in the mind, it was the first time. How did sociology develop? So now focus on these points. How did sociology develop as a discipline? It was the Enlightenment thinkers that followed positivism, like Auguste Comte. Auguste Comte was the person who thought that there should be a science which should study these changing societies. By that time, there were no disciplines except philosophy that focus on the changing study of the changing part of the society, changing dimensions of the society. So Auguste Comte was the first thinkers here who started separated all the social society related subject and named it social physics. Firstly named it social physics. Social physics, and later on named it sociology. Reason and logic. Science is also based on reason and logic. Comte and Saint-Simon, their mentor Saint-Simon, focused on that reason and logical based studies of these changing socio-economic and political phenomena. Okay, whatever the structure of society, function of society, say they people started scientific way of discovering the changing reason of change, causes of change, their impact, and different dimensions of the societies. Philosophy of history, Comte, by that Marx later on came, poverty is a social, not a natural. He gave the new philosophy. In the 19th century, Marxian idea of the Hegelian. Marx was influenced by Hegel, his mentor. Thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. Marx's idea was revolutionized the world, entire world. His ideas on capitalism, his idea on the labor, materialism, his historical materialism concept just played very, very appealing to the people. That how did society change and transform? Marx argued that it is infrastructure which shapes the superstructure. Just like whenever the infrastructure changed, the social system, values, family, norms, all these things started changing in direction of the mode of production, or as the means of production or mode of production change, all these things started changing. Biological theory of evolution here, biological in sociology, Charles Darwin was the person who gave the biological theory of evolution. In sociology, it was Herbert Spencer. Herbert Spencer gave the biological evolution shape of social revolution. Spencer talks about social Darwinianism. Social Darwinianism, just like a human being evolves by the gradual process of evolution, similarly, society is a process of gradual evolution from militant to industrial society, and he elaborated the organic analogy. Just like our body has different parts and organ, and they works in homogeneity, similarly, society has different parts and body and works in homogeneity. So, Herbert Spencer's social Darwinianism in sociology is very, very popular. He contributed a lot. And survey on social conditioning, there were so many sociological studies of the social conditioning and social system of the society. So here, in a nutshell, we can say that while writing the question asks that modernity and social change in Europe and emergence of sociology. In this part, Firstly, we discuss what are the factors of change, and later on that the thinkers' contribution like Auguste Comte, Charles Darwin, Marx, Emile Durkheim argued that sociology is a science which studies social facts. Okay, so you should write that here. These thinkers laid the founding fathers' contribution. Auguste Comte, Herbert Spencer, Max Weber, Karl Marx. These are the founding fathers of sociology. They contributed a lot in making sociology a discipline. Like Auguste Comte gave the theory of hierarchy of science. He gave the theory of law of three stages. He gave the theory of positivism in sociology. Positivism refers to sociology is just like the natural sciences. After Auguste Comte, the positivism tradition increased by Emile Durkheim. Emile Durkheim argued that sociology is a science which studies social fact. His studies on division of labor, suicide were very, very popular. Okay. After that, Max Weber's action theory, his concept of Wurstian were also very popular. He gave new dimension to non-positivistic approach in sociology. Karl Marx's theory of capitalism or his historical materialism were also very popular. So, to conclude, you can write that you have to explain modernity, factors of modernity and socio-economic change. In this situation, after Auguste Comte, these thinkers emerged, they contributed a lot and sociology became a discipline. First time sociology started teaching in USA, later on Britain, and in 1914 onwards sociology came in India at Bombay University, and right now sociology is a well-established discipline and around the world, and still it is developing science, progressive science, and now so many branches of sociology developed and emerged. So, there are different type of the short notes type of the question as well as long type of the question asked in this unit. Like sociology is a byproduct of the French Revolution. You have to write 100 words. Industrial Revolution and development of sociology. Short notes format, the topics given. You have to write 150 words. And a long type question frequently asks that modernity and social change in Europe and emergence of sociology as a discipline. Here you have to write 250 words. So all these points you discuss, all these points elaborate you properly in a concise way, in a lucid way, and systematic and organized way. You have to just show that how did sociology in this situation developed, emerged, and sociology became a subject. So this is our here topics, and you frame your answer, and in framing your this topic's answer, these points are the major consideration. You may highlight these points, and after highlighting this point, you have the word limit, and that word limit, it is very many times difficult to write very, very descriptively because word limitation you have to follow. So these topics, firstly, you understand and elaborate it properly. Okay, by next time, we'll discuss the next topics of the sociology, and hope you will be benefited a lot with my experiences. Sociology is a very, very popular optional, a scoring optional. It will largely contribute you in GS, essay, and make your GS 20 to 25% easy everywhere. It is very easy subject to understand, but you have to just get the guidelines and mentoring properties. Bye.